touch on some of the highlights that I have tonight. So we had Hangman Page. He was on Being the Elite this past week, and he had a sit-down interview with Jim Ross. It's the Road to All Out. It's about a 4-minute interview. I'm going to show a little bit bits and pieces of it, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on Hangman and Jericho. This match will be coming up next week, and it's for the All Elite Championship. I want to get your guys' opinion. If you're excited for it, do you even care for this match? Let's go to the interview with Jim Ross and Hangman Page. Thank you, After. Appreciate that.
You know, I came to this interview today, Adam, and I had a lot of questions. But this story really writes itself. It's so simple to break down and what this match on Saturday night, August 31st, is going to mean not only to this company, but to you as an individual, and certainly Chris Jericho. There'll never be another first champion. A lot of people says that it's too much too soon for you. Have you thought about that? Maybe it is too much. You're 27 years old.
I know that a lot of people, maybe in their best case scenario, they see the first night of TNT TV, they see someone who's done it 1,000 times before, who's carried the torch, who's carried the championship 1,000 times before, walk down the aisle to present All Elite Wrestling to the world. They might see that and they might think that's best case scenario. But when I think about what All Elite Wrestling is at its core, it wasn't built by recognizable faces or corporate sponsorships. It was built by people doing some cowboy shit. It was built by people, thousands of fans around the world who wanted to see something different. And I think that I can be that guy to give them something different.
I've watched a lot of your matches, and I don't think you've ever been in the ring with anybody as dangerous as this cat at this point in time in his life. I've called probably more of his matches than anybody alive. I can't find where he's the son of a bitch is weak. And I don't know how you prepare for that, quite honestly.
How do you train for Chris Jericho? How do you prepare for Chris Jericho, somebody who's willing to attack you from behind to make a statement? You kind of can. I grew up nearly my entire life watching Chris Jericho. Every week, sometimes more than once a week, my whole life until he ended up in the same locker rooms as me, and I watched him from behind the curtain then. And you're right, he doesn't have many weaknesses. Not many you can list. And I think about all the years and years and years I spent leading to this moment. I didn't realize it, but watching his matches, getting here, that the one weakness that he has is something that he showed me just a month or two ago. It's how physically desperate he is for that championship in this moment. I listened to him in Jacksonville. I listened to what he said. He said he wanted to beat the Hangman. He wanted to be the first All Elite Wrestling World Champion. I don't want this. I need it. I've said it since day one that I would be the first All Elite Wrestling Champion. I said that I needed to be in the first ever All Elite Wrestling match and won the Casino Battle Royale. I'm telling you, I need to be in this main event position for the title, and I'm telling you, I need to win it.
I think that Jericho's going to go in this match as the favorite. Does that, if that is true, that's my assumption. Does it bother you to be the underdog?
No, I think I've been the underdog for my whole career, the entire thing. I kind of like it that way.
I've heard through the grapevine, you can confirm yea or nay, that your parents are going to be in Chicago to watch this event. What's that mean to you?
You know, I was raised up on a tobacco farm, real small, family farm. My parents taught me about hard work, about humility, about how that can get you somewhere. But I remember when I was a kid, I can vividly remember my dad telling me that I was going to have to find something else to do. And I like to think that in this point in my life, I've found it. So, my parents, they haven't been on a plane in probably 15 years, but all out weekend, they're getting on a plane, they're coming to Chicago. I'm going to put them front row and let them see this damn match.
Cool, man. Good for you. More reason to have the match of your life, buddy. More reason to have the match of your life and make them proud. We know Chris Jericho is listening. He's not going to miss a beat. He's a strategist and a great one. What would you say to him right now, directly to Chris Jericho? What would be your message from the Hangman to Jericho?
This one night. This is history. It only happens one time. I get one chance. If I lose this, am I going to go back to the tobacco farm? live there. This is
Come on
this
now, Hangman
is what
Page.
I've got.
Really, you lose this, you're gonna go back
This
to
is
the
my
tobacco
opportunity.
farm. Come on, man.
If Jericho loses, he can make another Fozzy record. He'll be fine on his AEW contract. This is my opportunity. It is the only opportunity I might get. I would do anything. I would do anything to win that championship because I have to. In front of my family, the fans that have followed us for years and years, I have to win this.
All right, so what was your guys' thoughts on that interview with him and Jim Ross? Now, I will admit this. I do like Jim Ross in this role. Instead of him being a commentator, oh, my hair looks like shit tonight. Sorry about that. Instead of being a commentator, I like him in this role where he sits back and interviews the wrestlers instead of commentating.
I've had
matches.
bowel movements that were more interesting than that interview.
Oh my god. Well, damn. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, I did like Jim Ross in this role where he's interviewing Hangman Page. That's the kind of role I feel like Jim Ross is made for in this organization instead of him commentate, because sometimes, like I said on the last show, him commentating wasn't what is that on my head? Probably my hair. I don't know what it is. I didn't enjoy him too much commentating. Now, I do like him in this role where he's interviewing Paige. I think he last week or 2 weeks ago he interviewed Sean Spears. So he's doing a good job in that role. Now they just recently announced that they signed Tony Schiavone over to AEW. Now they didn't really clarify what he's going to be doing there. I'm assuming going to be a commentator, but we will have to find out on that in the next couple of weeks when AEW finally debuts on television. Another familiar voice for a lot of old wrestling fans who watched WCW back in the day. They'll instantly recognize Tony Schiavone's voice when they hear it. Now, see a lot of people kind of making fun of Adam Page. You even had, Speeds kind of throw a little jab at him, saying that interview was not very interesting. Now, this is your main event for All Out. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Now, we haven't touched on it yet, but we will, about Moxley being injured and him taken out of the match, and replaced him with Pac. Now, it seems like a lot of people are very, very excited to see this particular match, and I'm wondering if this match is overshadowing the actual world title match, because it seems like a lot of people, if you probably asked a lot of the AEW fans, or wrestling fans in general, between the two matches, which one are you more excited for? It'd probably be Pac and Kenny Omega, I would assume.